I think the slider work's improving. Right, so part 2 then of this Motone vintage stroke antique brass throttle body covers, clutch covers and ACG covers for the Triumph Bonneville liquid cooled twins. And in this case it's the Webco inspired big fin parts. Now for those of you who don't know your motorcycling history, Webco was a company that brought out a whole range of accessories and parts in the 1960s, what became known as big fin parts, which were purported to enhance cooling on the original Triumph Bonnevilles. Whether or not it worked is a moot point. The fact is, it is part of the Bonnevilles history, and I do believe that Motone are the only company at the moment who are paying homage to that moment from the Bonnevilles past. Now these parts have been given the exact same vintage brass finish as the Union Jack parts that I showed you last Friday. And just to answer one or two questions that came up around that video, the treatment and finish that these bits have been given will make them very resistant to corrosion and damage by the elements, and there are no special care requirements involved in keeping them in as new condition. Now one or two people asked why they were brass plated and not solid brass, and there are a couple of reasons for that. One is that solid brass is obviously going to add considerable weight to your bike, and one of the unwritten rules of bike customization has always been to try and make the bike a little bit lighter, not a little bit heavier. And the other reason is that these parts are high pressure die cast parts, designed for casting aluminium. Now the requirements for casting brass in the same manner would dictate that new moulds and new equipment would be needed to make that happen. And Motone has already invested very heavily in these parts and the tooling required to make them, and as it stands at the moment, plating them with brass rather than casting in brass was the most sensible option. Now I should add that where these big fin parts are concerned and the vintage brass Union Jack parts are concerned, Motone has only produced a limited batch, so they may only be available for a short time. This brushed vintage finish, combined with the subtle curves that die casting allows, gives these parts a sort of multi-faceted look, and the effect is quite different depending on what direction you're looking at them from and the qualities of the ambient light. There are times when you look at them and they have quite a dark, grungy, dare I say, steampunk look to them, whereas at other times they seem to glisten and sparkle in the light. This finish seems to add another dimension that you just don't get with black paint or polished or brushed aluminium. Now I know these brass parts might not be to everyone's liking, and again both here on YouTube and on Facebook I've been asked a lot of questions about whether these are available in different finishes, so I'll try to go through them all as far as I can remember them because it is quite bewildering. Now this is for these Webco inspired parts and for the Union Jack parts. They are available in polished aluminium. They're also available in powder coated black. Motone have also produced a shot blasted version which matches very nicely with the actual throttle bodies, and they're also the black and polished aluminium contrast cut versions. So I think Motone have got just about everything covered for every possible taste. And the other big question that I'm constantly asked is what models will these fit? The ACG covers and the clutch badges should fit all of the current water-cooled twins 900cc and 1200cc versions. The throttle body covers will fit all 1200cc models that have the AML monoblock style throttle bodies fitted. So that will include your Bobber Black, your T120, your Speedmaster, and of course the Thruxton and Thruxton R. I don't think I've missed anybody out. Now, all things considered, I think Motone have pretty much got everything covered with these particular custom parts. Some people like everything to match, some people like to mix and match. Either way, I think there's something in this range for everyone. Now, the Union Jack parts are already on sale. These Webco inspired parts are going up on sale today, and I'll leave a link for each of the parts to Motone's webpage in the video description down below. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you found it useful. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button. I will be back on Friday, so until then, ride safely and I'll see you soon.